Hello REVSOUL here, welcome you all guys to a new video. Today I just brought the Honda's 125cc sports bike, the Honda CB125 Hornet. This bike is a proper attention seeker mainly because of the design and the paint scheme. This vibrant paint scheme make every single person turns their head, and Honda named this paint quality, the paint scheme as the pearl siren blue and the lime ice yellow. Apart from this paint scheme, Honda has also got other three paint scheme, one in a red, one in a blue, and my personal favorite a black one. And talking about the paint quality, this is a Honda motorcycle, so there's no drawback in the terms of the paint quality and stuff. And the other one thing I greatly love for this motorcycle is people have a doubt whether if it's a 125cc. People will be asking whether if it's a 200cc motorcycle, mainly because of this kind of an aggressive design. Let's check out the design, because the Honda CB125 also shares the similar design from the Honda's big bike like the Honda CB1000. We can find the LED DRLs and also the LED headlights for the motorcycle, and since this is a LED headlights, we get decent light through in the night time too. And indicators, we also get LED indicators for the motorcycle, so there is no quality drawbacks in terms of the indicators too. And checking out the rear section, we can find that great looking rear section for the motorcycle too, making this obviously a better sports bike in the 125cc category. Just check out the rear tail lights, very much sharp looking tail lights, and the rear section is also much sportier than other 125cc sports bike like the TVS Raider 125. And checking out the seats, we get the split seat setup for the Honda CB125, and obviously we get a wider room for the rider than the other competitors. But the drawback is the pillion room is not that great comparing to TVS Raider 125 and the Extreme 125R. And getting on the bike, the first thing to be noted will be the seat height. The bike has got a seat height of like 796mm. I'm a 5'8" guy. I have complete planted foot on both sides, so no issue with the seat height. And the weight is also very much manageable, just 124 kilograms, so it's so much easier to move around the parking lot. And checking out the handlebar switches, light functions are integrated into a single switch, and the pass, dim, every single function are integrated into this single switch. And these are for toggling around the meter console. We get the indicators, the horn. In the right side, the kill switch and ignition are integrated into a single switch. And before jumping on the meter console, let's check out the keys. These are the keys for Honda CB125, just like the keys we have experienced in the Hero Extreme 125R, but we get a 3D logo from Honda, unlike the engraving from the Hero. Keys are a very bit much better than the Hero's Extreme 125R. And turning on the meter console, we get a colorful TFT meter console just like the Honda's NX200. We get the tachometer, the gear position indicator, the speedometer, and pressing this button we can jump to fuel settings. We can either set the fuel range or the fuel level, and coming back we can go to trip meter, the trip A and trip B settings, and coming back again we can get to settings, and there we can set up the functions like the main things appearing in the main screen. According to our personal needs, we can change according to that. And we also get the time, and it's also Bluetooth compatible, so turn by turn navigation, call alerts, music controls can be accessed from this meter console. And we also get a type C charging port in this area for charging our phones while on the ride. It's so much harder to open the area with my gloves. Just like that, we get a type C charging port for charging our device. Now let's talk about the main part of the motorcycle, the engine, which gives the bike the perfect sporty riding. Right now we get a 123.94cc single cylinder air cooled engine for the Honda CB125, which can also produce like 11:11 power figures. That means 11 bhp and 11 Nm of torque. And we also get a 5-speed gearbox, very precise and clear gearbox. I have felt no false neutral while on the ride. And talk about the clutch feel, the clutch feel is lighter comparing to other competitors, but as not as light as the older Honda motorcycle. Now let's check out the brakes. Right now we get a 240mm disc rotors in the front side with the 2-piston calipers, and it's also a single channel ABS braking, not the dual channel ABS like the Honda's, the Hero's Extreme 125R. And talking about the front braking, the braking is progressive, but we get the proper feel and feedback from the brake, so I'm very much confident with the front brakes itself. And in the rear side we get the 130mm drum braking setup. And talk about the braking, I perfectly love the front brakes because the feel and feedback are so much great. Have got the perfect confidence to push this bike also. But The one drawback will be the tires, because the tires adding that great grip. Right now we get the MRF tires with the 80 section tires in the front side and 110 section tires in the rear side with 17-inch vibrant alloy wheels too. And suspension would be the other great thing which would be standing out when comparing with the competitors, because right now we get the 37mm golden UST forks in the front side, which is set more on the softer side, so that we get a perfect comfortable ride from the front suspension. But the rear suspension is completely different, because the rear suspension setting, even though we get a monoshock suspension with a preload adjustable teeth, the rear suspension is set more on the stiffer side. So while riding through uneven roads, the comfort is not that great. So comfort wise, I would prefer the TVS Raider 125 over the Honda's CB 125, mainly because of the rear suspension setting. And before going for a short ride, let's also hear out the exhaust note from Honda CB 125. It's also got the silent start feature, so let's hear it out. Let me give a bit of a throttle. So let's go for a short ride on the Honda's CB 125. The battery is a bit down because I just turned the motorcycle on for like more than like 30 minutes. And finally we have reached highway, so let's see how the Honda CB 125 performs. I think the bus is about to stop, so let's do a small pull on this bike. And that's the power delivery for the Honda CB 125. The performance is completely a rivalry for the Hero Extreme 125R, but the initial performance is not as great as the Hero Extreme 125R. The main performance kicks in after like 5000 RPMs. The mid RPMs are the main power band for the Honda CB 125. It's also so much fun riding on the mid RPM, so we can enjoy that performance, the sporty performance from the 125cc engine. And as I said, in the walk around with the front brakes are much enough for the motorcycle to put a stop. Instead of just saying, I'll just show you guys the proper braking performance at like 50 km/h. Just the front brakes, just like that, we can put a great stop for the Honda CB 125. The braking performance just from the front brakes are enough for the motorcycle to put a complete stop. The braking distance and everything is very much neat. Because of the normal ABS intensity, the braking bite and feedback is also so much greater. And talking about the handling, stability and traffic filtering, it's so much great for all these things. The stability, handling and traffic filtering can be very much easier for the Honda CB 125. It's so much easier to filter to the traffic because of the 125 kilograms and the great handling. It's so much peppier to ride this motorcycle. Talk about the vibration, yeah, we do have vibration for the motorcycle, but only after like 7000 RPMs. We do feel the vibration on the foot pegs and the handlebars. More vibrations are felt on the foot pegs after like 7500 RPM. And those vibrations don't destroy our riding experience on the Honda CB 125. And looking on the ergonomic side, the bike is set more on the sporty side with a much more lowered handlebars, unlike the straight handlebars on other motorcycles. And the foot pegs are also set more on the sporty side, so that we can have a complete riding, I mean a much more sporty riding position on the motorcycle. And before looking at the fuel efficiency side, let me just talk about the fuel tank. Right now we get a 12-liter fuel tank for the Honda CB 125, and the fuel efficiency is expected to be like 45 to 48 km per liter on cities and up to like 55 km per liter on highways if rode decently. And the sweet spot for riding this motorcycle on highways will be like 75 km per hour to 85 km per hour, where we can ride comfortably with minimal to none of the vibrations and with a greater fuel efficiency too. And even while riding through the dead traffic, we don't feel that kind of heating from this 125cc engine. So it's so much greater to ride in the traffics too. And the other fun things will be, there will be so much greater attention for this motorcycle unlike other 125cc, mainly because of the vibrant color and the great design from Honda to the Honda CB 125. And finally, looking onto the pricing side, right now this Honda CB 125 costs about like 1,15,000 rupees ex showroom pricing at Kerala Trivandrum. It's a bit too pricey than the Heroes Extreme 125R and the TVS Raider 125, but that's not a great deal breaker because we get the Honda's reliability, the great looks, great performance, great features, even the features like the USB forks, which we can't find none of the other bikes in the 125cc category. And that's it for the review of the Honda CB 125. I think I have shown you much of the details, so let's catch up in the next video. Until then, it's a bye from me. Bye guys.